it's been a lot of pressure in the making, right? Let me throw some of my favorite little indicators on here. This is my moving average indicator. And so you can see here, we really haven't had any sort of distribution in, gosh, close to 6 months. You can see I've got a 6 month chart on here, and where my linear regression line starts, where we are saying our uptrend has happened, has started to begin, is almost about to fall off of my chart. What that means is that a lot of people are being drawn into the market that otherwise wouldn't be trading in the markets, kind of wooed by the rhetoric, especially around, what the US does best, which is tech stocks, right? That's where we innovate the most. And so, yeah, there's a lot of money in the markets that isn't usually there. And I can see those people who put that money in pulling it out just as quickly as they put it in. One last thing that we should really take a look at is, besides just our charts, SIP, it's this. Let's see if I can pull it up. It's this in the last week. If I pull up the gold chart,
All-time highs.
all-time highs. Now, gold is typically a place where people put their money when they're afraid of drops in the market. And that's a 1 year chart. Let me just come up to the last 3 months. If I pull up just the last 3 months, gosh, we're at,
42%.
$2,250. That's like a huge, it usually hovers around $2,000. So you're talking about over, gosh, almost a 10% increase in the price of gold because there's so much demand for it. So a lot of big investors are starting to hedge themselves. I mean, even look at, last week we saw just the overall weakness in crypto. Crypto is so volatile. You never know what's going to happen next. But crypto can also be looked at as a hedge against some silliness. And crypto's right back up. If you look at the price of Bitcoin, right back up to that $70,000 mark, the all-time highs. And so, I think a lot of people are starting to move their money slowly but surely into these defensive places. And, you're just seeing this build up this week. Especially, remember last week we talked about on balance volume, accumulation distribution with respect to volume, and RSI, and how even though Thursday looked like it was an up day, it actually was giving us a little bit of a signal that it was weak. And then we saw on Friday, and then on Monday, and then on Tuesday of this week, just selling below our line of ascending support. You know, then on Wednesday, some news came out. We saw some buying. Yesterday, it was pretty much flat, but we did hit, we gained a little bit. So we wound up getting to another all-time high. But man, it's getting harder and harder to push this S&P higher, and easier for it to fall.